Greetings, seekers of truth, and a warm welcome to The Morale. Today, we are going to dismantle one of the biggest misunderstandings of the modern world: motivation. We often view motivation through a simplistic lens. We assume that a person works primarily for money, that they strive hard solely for a promotion, or that they only become active when a reward is dangled in front of them. But in reality, motivation is not a straight line. It is complex, messy, and deeply multifaceted. It has layers that go far beyond the paycheck. In this deep dive, we are exploring the book Payoff, the hidden logic that shapes our motivations, by the renowned behavioral economist Dan Ariely. By the end of this journey, you will understand the complex nature of human drive, why money is often a weak motivator, and how purpose, recognition, and even struggle shape the work we do.
Part 1. The complexity of human drive. Many factors combine to spark the desire to act. Money is certainly one of those factors, but money alone can never be the complete picture. If money were the only answer, every wealthy person would be the happiest and most motivated individual on earth. But we know this is not the reality. Consider a man named David. He has a high-paying job, security, and status. From the outside, he has made it. But on the inside, he feels bored and empty. Every morning when his alarm rings, he dreads going to the office. Why? Because his motivation is limited only to the financial transaction. When work has no purpose and no meaning, money gradually loses its power to satisfy the soul. To truly understand motivation, we must look at several factors working in unison.
Purpose. This is a massive part of the equation. When a person is clear that what they are doing adds value to someone's life or moves their own life in a specific direction, motivation becomes naturally robust. Purpose doesn't always mean saving the world. For David, purpose might be providing a better future for his children. For someone else, it might be contributing to society. When the struggle of work is linked to a greater meaning, the fatigue feels lighter and the struggle feels meaningful. Achievement. Humans have an innate desire to see progress. We want to feel that we are moving from one level to the next. Small wins, milestones, and completed goals release dopamine in the brain. This is why video games are addictive. They provide instant signals of achievement after every level. If progress and achievement are invisible in real life, motivation fades.
Connection. This is a highly underrated factor. We're social animals. We need to feel that we are not alone, that we are part of a team or a group. When there is friendship and support in the workplace, work feels good. Many people leave high-paying jobs simply because the environment is toxic. A lack of connection hollows out motivation from within, whereas a culture of celebration and mutual support sustains it. Recognition. We want our hard work to be seen. This doesn't just mean a trophy, it means a sincere acknowledgement. When effort goes unnoticed, the mind asks, "Why am I doing this?" Recognition fuels motivation because it confirms our value and makes us feel our presence is important.
Legacy. This is linked to long-term motivation. It is about what we leave behind after we are gone. Some people are motivated because they want to be remembered. A teacher's legacy is their students. A father's legacy is the values of his children. An entrepreneur's legacy is their business impact. When we think about legacy, motivation rises above shallow rewards. Happiness. This is both a cause and a result. When we are happy, we enjoy our work. And when we do meaningful work, happiness increases. It is a cycle. Torturing yourself in the present for a hypothetical future happiness is rarely sustainable. If there is no joy in the process, no learning, no creativity, no freedom, motivation doesn't last long. When it comes to money,
It is necessary, but its effect plateaus. Once basic needs, comfort, and security are met, other things are needed for motivation. Money is an external motivator that works in the short term, but things like purpose, growth, and connection are internal motivators that create long-term drive. Internal motivation is more stable and powerful. Motivation is dynamic, not static. What drives you today is not guaranteed to work tomorrow. Priorities change. Sometimes achievement feels more important, sometimes stability, sometimes freedom. Understanding motivation means understanding oneself. Often, people say, "I can't find motivation," but in reality, the question is not of motivation, but of clarity. When purpose is not clear, goals are vague, and values are confused, motivation weakens. Motivation awakens from within. External factors only act as triggers. It is also important to understand that motivation cannot always be high. Discipline and systems support us when motivation dips. But in the long run, only those with strong reasons bigger than money, remain driven.
Part 2. The Financial Paradox. Why Money Can Backfire. We often assume that if you pay people more, they will work harder. Companies and managers think, give a bonus, increase incentives, and productivity will automatically increase. This sounds logical, but in reality, it often has the opposite effect. Simple financial incentives often backfire. There was a famous experiment conducted in a factory setting to test productivity. Workers like John were given cash bonuses to increase their output. Initially, the results looked good. Workers gave more output and targets were met quickly. Management thought the formula was working. But after some days, a strange thing happened. Productivity gradually dropped from 100 back down to 50, and in some cases fell even lower than before. The workers' enthusiasm decreased. The work that used to feel normal now started to feel boring and heavy. As soon as the bonus ended, the motivation disappeared. Why does this happen? Because money is an external motivator. It pushes from the outside. It does not create an internal drive. When a person works only for money, their attention is on the reward, not the work. When the reward is removed, the brain asks, why should I work hard now? The work that was previously acceptable suddenly feels like extra effort. In psychology, this is called the over-justification effect. When too much external reward is attached to a task, the intrinsic motivation weakens. Imagine a child who loves to draw. She draws happily every day. If her parents start giving her money for every picture, initially she will draw more. But if the money stops, the child will ask, why draw now? What used to happen with joy has become a transaction. The same happens with adults. In the factory experiment, it was seen that non-monetary incentives were often more effective than cash rewards, things like praise, respect, or even a simple pizza voucher. It sounds funny, how can a pizza voucher be more powerful than cash? But psychology explains it. A pizza voucher is not just food, it is a signal. It says, we saw your hard work, we care. It creates a social moment where the team eats together and bonds. Cash creates a transaction, pizza creates a relationship. Cash rewards often create expectations. Once a bonus is received, the brain takes it as a baseline. If it is missed next time, disappointment sets in. But praise or recognition doesn't create such entitlement. It can be given repeatedly, and its emotional impact remains fresh. Another problem is that financial incentives narrow attention. A person will only do what they are paid for and ignore the rest. Quality may suffer for quantity. Teamwork may end as competition increases. Chasing short-term gains damages long-term culture. Non-monetary incentives like recognition, autonomy, and trust motivate a person from within. When a manager publicly praises a worker like Michael, he feels proud and skilled. This feeling lasts. It is also important to understand that for creative or meaningful work, money has a negative effect. If too much cash incentive is placed on problem-solving or learning, attention shifts from enjoyment to reward. Work becomes a burden. Money also makes a person feel controlled. It reduces autonomy. Humans desire freedom. Praise strengthens autonomy by saying, "You did well in your own way." Companies that operate only on bonus cultures see high burnout and low loyalty. Employees run after targets but feel no emotional connection. As soon as a better offer comes, they leave. This doesn't mean money isn't necessary. Fair pay is vital. But after a certain level, money becomes a hygiene factor. Its absence causes pain, but its increase doesn't bring extra motivation. Real motivation comes when a person feels their work is important and they are treated like a human. A simple thank you, trust, and growth opportunities are more powerful than cash. Real productivity comes from the heart, not the wallet. Part 3. The IKEA effect. The value of effort. We often think value is determined by price, but in real life, we value things based on the effort we invest in them. Sometimes an old pen or a self-made table is more valuable to us than an expensive item. This is known as the IKEA effect. The name comes from the furniture company IKEA, where people assemble the furniture themselves. When you buy a chair from IKEA, you bring it home in pieces. You put in screws, connect parts, and follow instructions. It takes effort and time. But when that furniture is built, it is no longer just a chair, it becomes my chair. Research shows that people are willing to pay more for furniture they assembled themselves than for the ready-made version. The quality is the same, but the effort makes the difference. Effort creates a sense of ownership. This ownership is emotional. It is why people feel attached to their old houses, even if a new one is better. This effect applies to education, too. When a student, like Sarah, makes her own notes and diagrams, she learns better than if she just bought a guidebook. The effort deepens the learning. This is visible in the workplace. When an employee is just an instruction follower, their emotional connection is low. But when they are involved in decision-making and given the opportunity to give ideas, they consider the work my work. Ownership increases motivation. This is why micromanagement kills motivation. When every small thing is controlled, the employee puts in no effort of their own. But when autonomy is obtained, the IKEA effect activates. The project becomes a personal mission. Companies use this in marketing through customization. Designing your own shoes makes them feel special. The IKEA effect also works in relationships. Relationships where we invest effort, communication, patience, compromise become stronger. Easy relationships remain shallow. Investing effort increases emotional value. However, the IKEA effect only works if the effort leads to success. If the task is impossible, frustration sets in. Balance is needed. In education, if students are allowed to explore and create projects, learning deepens. Knowledge becomes creation. Creation brings ownership, and ownership brings motivation. This can be used in personal life. Design your own routines and workout plans instead of following ready-made ones. When the plan is yours, you are more likely to follow it. The IKEA effect teaches us that struggle is not always negative. A little struggle makes things meaningful. Instant gratification does not give long-term satisfaction. Things made slowly are more satisfying. Value does not come from outside, it is formed within through effort. Part 4. Meaning versus happiness. We all want to be happy. It is at the top of our wish list. But there is a truth here. Things that make us happy do not always motivate us for long. Things that have meaning change us. Happiness is often temporary. Good food, a movie, praise. These boost the mood, but the feeling fades. The brain wants something new. Chasing pure pleasure never satisfies. In contrast,
Meaning is deep. It gives long-term satisfaction. Think of a doctor like David. A call comes at 2 a.m. for an emergency. He is tired and stressed. There is no happiness in that moment, but he goes because his work has meaning. Saving a life matters. This meaning is a stronger motivation than the desire for sleep or comfort. Meaning implies our work is connected to a bigger picture. Happiness is for oneself. Meaning is often for others. When we step out of our comfort zone to do something meaningful, real growth happens. Many people confuse the two. They want a fun, easy job, but without challenge or significance, the job feels empty. Meaning comes with challenge and responsibility.
Motivation built on happiness is fragile. As soon as the fun ends, motivation dies. But motivation built on meaning is sustainable. A student studying for knowledge lasts longer than one studying for grades. Parents raising children face difficulties, but the meaning of raising a child keeps them going. Modern society sells instant happiness, dopamine through social media and shopping, but meaning connects to deeper emotions. Volunteering and helping others gives long-term peace. Meaning helps us step outside ourselves. It asks, is this important, rather than do I feel good? Meaning isn't found, it is created. A teacher isn't just finishing a syllabus, they are building the future. A cleaner isn't just cleaning, they are maintaining dignity. When the perspective changes, work becomes meaningful. So if you want long-term motivation, seek value and impact, not just fun. Happiness comes and goes, but meaning grounds you. Part 5. The Fuel of Recognition. Humans are not machines. We run on emotion. It is vital for us to know that what we are doing is important to someone. This is why recognition boosts motivation. Think of a person like Michael, who works with dedication. If he is never told his work is good, a question arises. Is this making a difference? Lack of recognition is the silent killer of motivation. The person disconnects. Recognition doesn't mean awards. A simple, genuine thank you or good job is powerful. It makes a person feel they are not invisible. It satisfies the basic human need to be seen and valued. When recognition is received, self-worth increases. Studies show people are willing to work harder for less money if they receive recognition. It activates intrinsic motivation. Work becomes a contribution. Conversely, without recognition, people do the bare minimum. Creativity and ownership disappear. Even if the salary increases, engagement does not. Timing matters. Immediate praise creates a strong connection between effort and reward. Specific praise, the way you handled that problem was impressive, is better than general praise. This applies to parenting and teaching. Praising effort increases confidence. It applies to relationships too. Noticing efforts strengthens bonds. In leadership, recognition builds culture where people give their best. But it must be genuine. Fake praise destroys trust. In the end, the fuel of motivation is not just money. A human being wants their hard work to be seen. Recognition gives the message, you are important. We learned that motivation is not simple. Money is a short-term push, but long-term drive comes from meaning, ownership, and connection. Financial incentives can backfire, turning joy into a transaction. The IKEA effect teaches us that we value what we create. Effort generates love. Meaning is more powerful than happiness. Meaningful work sustains us through difficulty. And recognition is the essential human need that keeps motivation alive. If you want to understand motivation, look beyond the reward. Look at the heart, the effort, and the purpose.